I do not appreciate scheduling my leave days at the beginning of the year, and that's because things shift.
Do you know that according to Nairametrics, in 261 working days, out of 261 working days,
Tell me.
out of 261 working days,
Tell me.
you are supposed to have 40 to 45 days of holidays, inclusive of public holidays.
I remember then when Buhari was still in service, may so rest in peace. You know, there used to be this minister. That once everybody sees that minister, I don't know. Live.
So the leave policies that are actually recognized by the Nigerian Labour Law is annual leave, sick leave, maternity leave, and public holidays. And this is nationally recognized public holidays. Hi guys, hello, welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast. Welcome to the Expert Explorer, your number one best HR podcast, where we talk about everything employment, the fact, the myth, and everything in between.
That's right.
My name is Aisha.
And I'm Mide.
Okay, so before we get into the business of the day, please subscribe to our channel. I will keep singing this until everybody in this world subscribes to our channel. So subscribe, comment, share, like, follow us on our socials, and just join the community. You know, come and be with us. It's fun over here.
Yes, an exciting space to be.
It is okay. So Mide, today we'll be talking about the highs and the lows of what the labor law says about leave clauses.
Yeah, that's an interesting topic. So before I deep dive, or before we deep dive, we're going to ask our audience, what do you feel? How would you describe, declaring your leave plan or leave schedule before the beginning of a year or at the beginning of a year, a financial year? How would you describe it? Aisha, what do you have to say about that?
I was going to I have my own reservations about it. I mean, but before we do it, people should drop their own too. So we see how people think about it.
Very important.
Do you actually use it? Do you stick to the schedule, or Nigeria happens to your calendar? I mean, anything can happen. But for me personally, I'm coming from a bit of a selfish place because HR and all, and I'm trying to see that everything is planned and well documented. So for me, I would say I prefer that it is documented for other people, so I know what is going on throughout the rest of the year. I feel like it has its own advantages and its own disadvantages. For me, I feel like it helps you to be conscious of you need to take your leave, because some people are very into work that they even forget that you actually constantly need to remind them, you haven't taken your leave. When are you taking your leave? But when you have that in place where you've pre-scheduled your leave for the year before you even get there, if nothing comes up that it needs to be changed, I know that you can schedule your leave at the beginning of the year, but it's not as if it's set in stone. Anything can happen that you need to change it, and it will be honored. But having that in place just makes it easier for people to kind of go with the leave and say, okay, if nothing happens and you don't need to change it, when the time comes, you know that you're supposed to be on leave at this time. So for me personally, I would say I don't mind it.
Okay, honestly, in my view, I do not appreciate scheduling my leave days at the beginning of the year. And that's because things shift.
Of course.
I mean, we're not living in a static environment. There could be, life happens, deadlines happen. There could be anything, any function can appear at any point in time. And I really do not know the significance of doing that. While some organizations will say to help you know when your employees or the volume of your employees are going on leave, I just still feel that not everybody will be able to take those leave days, as they have scheduled. Because there could be situations where people will have to restructure, or maybe there is a public holiday that is happening within that period, and maybe the person has rested enough and would not want to
Continue.
and not want to maximize their leave days. The person will want to shift it forward. Take, for instance, now, last year, I wanted to travel. Right. And because I wanted to travel, I looked at my calendar and I felt the best time for me to actually schedule my trip was in August because it's summer. But at the beginning of the year, I didn't think I was going to travel. So just imagine if
You had scheduled your
I'd
leave.
scheduled my leave. And I also think that because maybe if you are working in an environment where you deal with clients, sometimes your leave period would be dependent on
what you are working
the
on.
activities that will be going on. So I don't think it's an efficient process. I think that people need to be more intentional about why they are even asking people to declare their leave days. If there's nothing that you are giving as an addition to people declaring their leave days at the beginning of the financial year, then you should not.
So
Shall I request for it?
let me from I said like from my own experience and in the tech space, I don't know about other companies, but for my company, those they work a lot. They are workaholics. So it's very easy for them to ease into like not going on their leave throughout the year and just like, oh, okay, I'm busy, I'm doing this. So that is why, and me asking like, me preferring that leave days are scheduled at the beginning of the year is so that there is that reminder that, okay, this, I have to go. Not because of, I feel like it's just the intention. It's not for selfish reason. It's just like, okay, I want to make it like stick to it. Like, okay, you need to go on this leave. So if you have pre-scheduled it, at least when that time comes, if nothing happens and you need to postpone, and like I said, it's not set in stone. I don't know about like, your industry and maybe when you pre-schedule your leave and something happens and you need to change it, you can't change it anymore. But it's not like that with us. You can, if something happens and you need to change it,
still
it
move
is
it
flexible.
around.
It's flexible
Well,
enough. It's just for us to like, okay, know that, okay, these are the possible times that people can go on leave. So if nothing happens out of the ordinary, everybody is going to go on leave because you already know that, this is already scheduled in place for you.
Okay.
And also, do you know that according to Nairametrics, in 261 working days, out of 261 working days,
Tell me.
out of 261 working days,
Tell me.
you are supposed to have 40 to 45 days of holidays, inclusive of public holidays.
Is it here in Nigeria?
I say Nairametrics.
Oh, that's... also they give global news. So
Well, if it's on Nairametrics, it's Nigeria. So if you're not giving 41 to 45, 40 to 45,
definitely.
what are you doing?
Exactly. I know that in the US, there are holidays of religious and national significance, unlike in Nigeria and in quotes in most West African countries where they take everything into consideration. I mean, public holidays are usually necessities, are declared as a necessary holiday.
Yeah.
And that's why I remember then when Buhari was still in service, may so rest in peace, there used to be this minister. Once everybody sees that minister, I don't want to call his name.
This is the
But
picture.
people are always excited to see his picture.
Like,
Because it's the time to declare holidays. So unlike here in Africa, where taking holidays is woven into the fabrics of the way we interact and the way we our culture in general, right? In other climes, holidays are seen as, things that must relate to must be of certain significance, either religious, like the Christmas day or the Thanksgiving celebration, or maybe it's of a social or national significance.
But it's not, okay.
But yeah, that's what happens in other Western worlds. They only affiliate the holidays, or they take seriously holidays that are affiliated to the cultural, no, not the cultural,
Religious.
the religious and the national.
What I wanted to say is
activities.
my friend works in the UK, so I've heard her saying like, it's not all the religious holiday that is recognized. I think the only one that is recognized is Christmas, I think, or like Thanksgiving or so. So she was just telling me that during Eid that she has to like pre-book our holiday, like
Wow.
pre-book our vacation days. She has to use our vacation days for our Eid holiday because it's not recognized.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think it also has to do with the environment.
Yeah,
Because I don't have friends in Iran or Iraq, but I
I
know
don't.
that in those climes they don't celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, even in I think is it in Dubai? I think most Middle Eastern countries, they don't work on Fridays because they see Friday as a holiday because of Juma.
Yes.
So they don't work on Fridays.
Oh,
They start their work
interesting.
on Sundays.
Yes,
So Friday and Saturday
actually
is the weekend.
their weekend.
Yes,
I
yes,
remember
you're
there's a
right.
friend of mine that was in the hospitality, was working in the hospitality industry, and of course, every time the person she's always telling me that she's
not
going
able
to
to go
work
to
on
church.
Sunday, and I'm like,
Yeah. So it's just like you say, it's just maybe because of the
interesting,
environment.
actually.
But in Nigeria, we
I don't
enjoy
know how that
holiday,
skip
sha.
man. Well, it's not only in Nigeria. So if you work in an international organization or a multinational organization, you realize that you'll be seeing plenty prompts of public holidays happening in different countries. Today you see that it's happening in Kenya. Tomorrow you see that it's happening in Malawi or something. You just be seeing different prompts. And so that is to show that it is part of our culture. We like to celebrate. We like to, in fact, we make holidays a necessity in this part of the world, in Africa. So for our global viewers, if you are looking for job opportunities,
come to Nigeria.
Come to Africa.
Habibi, come to Nigeria. That brings us to what the labor law says about the
taking of leave. Yeah.
I'm going to read something else because I'm going to read how
what
it
the
was.
labor law says.
That's what it was said.
Absolutely.
Okay. Every worker shall be entitled after 12 months continuous service to a holiday with full pay of at least 6 working days, or in the case of persons under the age of 16 years, including apprentices, at least 12 working days.
Interesting.
So that's for the annual leave. Like, this is what the labor law recognizes.
So it is interesting. Sorry to cut you, but it is interesting to see that most organizations capitalize on this first clause that says every worker is entitled after the 12 months of continuous service. Because I've been in an employment that you are not allowed to go on leave until after 1 year. Actually,
what? I know it sounds surprised because
no, but really, some employers would make it their sole responsibility to not give you any time off until you've completed your 1 year probation. And because the labor law actually legalizes it, some employers do not mind just allowing you to only proceed on leave after 1 year. So whilst I understand that it is legal to do that, I still feel that the humane part of it, I don't understand why you're like,
because that's what my company does. And my people will say the same thing. They will just cut it and say, Aisha, is that what you said?
I'm the one saying it.
I'm here smiling. I beg. But we work remotely, Sha.
So that alone is,
I will say, okay,
remote
work. I don't know.
But really, you need to understand that it is not, especially for organizations that you are working full-time on site. You shouldn't be bringing this clause into your policy.
It can be exhausting, actually.
It can be exhausting. You need to be considerate because, again, the level of energy that your employees have is what they project on the business. So you need to ensure that whatever you're putting into your system is able to sustain the highest level of energy from your employees. Let them feel that you care and you understand the dynamics of certain things. Yeah. So why not just say you get to earn your leave period?
Maybe a certain amount or a certain amount of days.
You should even earn your leave because anything can happen within your
time period, within 1 year.
In the organization. Take, for instance, now you join an organization and maybe quickly need to wrap up something at your previous, maybe in your school. you're a new entrant. Let's say you're not an experienced hire. You just joined an organization for the first time. You've never worked before, and you need to go and do some clearance at your previous education or your institution where you schooled, and then you travel. Are you now saying that because there's a policy that
I can't go and do
negates
that
you from traveling, you will not now be able to travel?
There are even people that I've seen, like, okay, they just started, but they've not done maybe their convocation. You know, some schools, they do convocation like every 5 years in this Nigeria.
Yes.
So you must have, the people must have finished like, school, done NYC, started working. Started working, then they need to go back for like something like maybe like convocation, collecting of transcripts and all. So in that period in time, you would be compelled you would be forced to stay back and not do it because of this clause.
Exactly.
I agree with you.
So you shouldn't just be rigid with this part of the labor law. Whilst it is required, you can be very flexible. For instance, I've proposed policies for organizations where you allow your employees accrue leave over a period of time. So you just know the number of leave days they are expected to take. You know, take for instance, if the person is expected to take 20 days leave, you know, you just divide it by the number of days, months in a year, and then the person can accrue it on a daily basis. So if they stay for like 1 month, it means they can accrue about 1.75 leave days, and you calculate it like that. So if you've not spent over this period, you cannot take over more than what you have accrued. So it's actually a better way to present.
Yeah, and it's fair and it's just. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
So we mentioned that it's not all the type of leaves that you see in your contract or you see like in your company policy, in your leave policies that is recognized by the Nigerian labor law. So the leave policies that are actually recognized by the Nigerian labor law is annual leave, which we already mentioned, sick leave, maternity leave, and public holidays. And this is nationally recognized public holidays. So it's not like, maybe in your states you used to do Egungun Day and it's a public holiday. They are not going to allow that. But public holidays that is like nationally recognized by the government, that is what the labor law says. It's your right. It's your right. If your employer is not doing it, they are going against the labor law, and is illegal. How do I say it's a crime? It's a crime. Go and tell police. So annual leave, sick leave, maternity leave, and public holidays. Those are the only 4 leave policies that are recognized by the labor law.
Yes, and it's good to note that some organizations actually provide more leave periods, even outside of this context at which the labor law recognizes or has given for employers to give their employees, and some of which is casual leave, paternity leave, exam leave,
compassionate
mental
leave.
health leave. So when your organization has given you this privilege, right, or this benefit of being able to proceed on leave like that, it's something that you should also appreciate, because these are not being recognized in the labor law. And even though my stance is still that the labor law reviews, we need to really review our labor law, because these things are realistic, and our labor law should reflect these realities or the realities of employees within the workspace. But that's not to say that because it is not recognized or legalized by the labor law, employers should not now be giving it anymore. So far it's in your policy, it is enforceable. So you cannot now say because the labor law did not recognize it, you are doing the employee a favor.
Yeah.
You are really
if it is stated, then you have to enforce it.
It has become
legally
binding.
You cannot say this person is taking, maybe they gave birth this year, they gave birth next year again, take paternity leave, say you are giving birth too much, your paternity leave is too much, so you cannot take it again. You can't do that. If somebody wants to born like 2 times in a year, leave them alone. Let them
but if it's in the policy that you can only take paternity leave
but what
once,
if it's not there?
So if it's not there, you have to.
Now that's all. Is that what I'm saying? Okay. Let people give birth in peace.
Aisha.
I'm sorry. that's just to show that it goes beyond just knowing only what the labor law says. You also need to familiarize yourself with like your company policies. What does your company offer that is not necessarily recognized in the labor law? So ask questions, read your handbook. I don't know how, like, it's so common that I'm not naming anybody's name and I'm not calling anybody out. So if the shoe fits, you can wear it. But some employees don't even have an idea of like what is. Oh, I think we even had a discussion about like one of Gen Z that you were telling that, oh, you came late. Did you see the handbook or the policy? The person was like, oh, nobody gave them anything. You need to familiarize yourself with your company policies. It's for your own interest, because if your organization is doing something that, or they are deviating from what is stated in their policy,
absolutely,
you can advocate for yourself. You can ask. You can say, oh, no, this is what was stated in the policy. Oh, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? So it will make them sit tight. So get yourself familiarized with
yourself and educate
ask
yourself
questions.
with your
If you don't have
policy.
access to it, which is wrong. So if you're an employer and your employees don't have access to employee handbook, that's wrong. So ask questions. If you don't have, if you're not able to get yourself, like if you're not able to get access to it, ask for it. You should have it in your person. Like it should be something that you can go back to and just say, oh, this is what it say. I want to do this. Oh, is this allowed? So you just check, read it.
I agree.
Do your own parts.
And I think that's one thing that you just made me remember something. And this has to do with the payments in lieu of notice that people always talk about. And to our viewers that don't really understand what payments in lieu is, let's explain it to you. So when you're in an organization or before you join an organization, an offer will be presented to you where something called the termination clause has been explained. And in that termination clause, a period is required for you as the employee or the employer to terminate such contracts. That duration is what we call the termination period. That is the notice period, right? So if you have been given an offer, whenever you want to resign, you are expected to give that notice period to the employer. And if you are the employer, you're expected to give that notice period to the employee, which makes the equation balanced. Yes. But sometimes employees, right, and also employers, they probably just want to terminate immediately.
Yeah.
And because they want to terminate immediately, there's that requirement in that same termination clause that should there be a case where you are not giving that particular notice period. And by notice period, it's just like serving a time, so that you can properly hand over, you can properly, do water the ground for the next job incumbent. So once you have actually you don't want to give that notice, you are allowed to pay in lieu of the notice. And by payment in lieu of notice, it means you can substitute a monetary or a fund in place of that notice. Take, for instance, you want to leave an organization and you're required to give 2 weeks notification before you exit fully, before your last day. What that means is that if you are resigning at the end of the month, you are supposed to give notice mid-month. And if you are not going to give that 2 weeks notice, it means that you pay for the 2 weeks to the employer and vice versa, the employer to the employee. So if the employer is saying they are no longer interested in you, they need to give you that notification and pay you. And if they are not going to give you the notification, they have to pay you in lieu. And that clause in lieu means as a substitution for the notice that they did not give you. So in that case, now that we've explained what's in lieu of notice, this is what the Nigerian labor law is saying. It should only be that part of your wages which a worker receives in money, exclusive of overtime and other allowances, should be taken into account. This calculation also applies to annual leave and sick leave benefits. What this simply means is that you are supposed to pay the gross figure, that is, whatever you are going to pay in lieu of notice has to also include both those annual leave, sick leave.
Yeah.
In fact, your gross is what is supposed to be paid. So you calculate, take for instance, if you were given 200,000 naira as your gross payment, including your tax, including your pension. It means that if you are leaving the organization, you'll be given a fraction of that gross figure as your payments in lieu and not on the net figure. So the calculation is not supposed to be on the net figure, but on the gross figure. If you have any question on this, please feel free to just drop your comments in the chat box. Aisha. So we're just going to practicalize a scenario, or the scenario of someone exiting the organization without giving a notice in lieu.
Okay. I'm the employee and she's the employer. So, Miss Mide, I just wanted to inform you that today was going to be my last day. I came to drop in my resignation and it's effective immediately. I know that when I started, I was supposed to give 2 weeks notice, but unfortunately, I'm not able to do that. So I'll be paying you in lieu of the notice. So according to my contract again, my gross payment is 200,000 naira per month. And my net payment is 150,000 naira. So I'll be getting the calculation of what I'm supposed to pay for 2 weeks, which is going to be around like 75,000. So I would like to pay that 75,000 naira in lieu of my notice.
Aisha, we're going to miss you, Def. I will not miss you because you're not giving me any notice. But of course, as I had mentioned, since you said you're not giving me any notice period, you're going to pay in lieu of the notice.
Miss Mindy, I'm not going to miss you too. And I already said I was going to miss you. I was going to pay you. So all this chalaye that you're doing, I don't understand. Bye. Walks out the door and slams the door. Walks out dramatically.
I know that in some organizations, the way they calculate their salaries is not usually as simple and as direct, as how we have just illustrated. But in case, if you want to understand how your notice in lieu should be calculated, just ask us. Yeah, or you can as well just ask your finance manager. He will teach you. Okay? Anyway, moving on.
Okay, so that's it for today. I know you've learned quite a lot today. I mean, you can go and fight your HR manager, your management, and everybody about your leave in case they're not giving you your leave days. So thank you for joining. Please subscribe, comment, share, like, and follow us on our socials and ask us questions.
Do that.
If something is not clear, please come and ask us. That's why we're here.
Yes,
we don't have any other job but to answer your questions. So be sure to stay tuned and from one expert to another, be bold,
be global, and be you.